Okay, what I'm going to teach you in this section is an obscure but very effective skill that has sort of passed into the mists of history. When calculators came along in the 1970s, this skill, which used to be routinely taught, became relegated to the pages of very obscure history, math history. It's called casting nines, and it provides an easy way to check addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division when you're doing things by hand. This skill is optional, but since you're going to want to learn how to check your work on a test or even on your homework quickly, it's probably a good idea to master the skill. Okay, first, what does it mean to cast nines? What we're going to be doing here is throwing away nines or getting rid of nines. So I'm going to do it just the most rudimentary way. I'm going to subtract 9 over and over again here. So I'll subtract 9, which gives 33, and then I'll subtract 9 again, which gives 24. And I keep doing this until I finally can't take away 9 anymore. So take away 9, it gives 15. Take away 9 gives 6. So if you throw away all the 9s out of 42, you get 6 leftovers. And so the casted nines version of 42 is just 6. Now, somebody figured out that if you just simply add the original digits, 4 plus 2, you'll get the same answer, which is a lot faster to do. So the casted nines version of 42 is just 6. All right, let's do the same with 75. I'll do the slow and tedious way. I'll take away 9 over and over again. This gives 66. Take away 9 gives 57. Take away 9 gives 48. Take away 9. And we end up with 39. Take away 9 gives 30. Take away 9. I'm going to have to come up here with it. 30 take away 9 is 21. 21 take away 9 is 12. 12 take away 9. And we finally get a number here that is between 0 and 8. So that's the casted nines version of 75. Well, nobody would want to do that every time. So instead, what you do is just take your 7 plus 5, the digits that were in the original, add them together, and if it's not less than 9, you do it again. And that's how you cast nines. So we can cut through all of this work here by just adding the digits. And you'll see on the next thing how this helps us. Okay, so we're going to cast nines from this monster number here. And I'm actually going to show you 2 different ways to do it. Okay, the first way is how I've been showing you, where you just add the digits. We're certainly not going to take 9 away each time. But if you take 4 plus 6 plus 5 plus 3 plus 7 plus 6, let's see what that gives us. 10, 18, 18 and 7 is 25. You get 31 there. I better check that again. 10, 18, 18 and 7 is 25. Yeah, that gives 31. And add those digits, you get 4. So the boiled down version of 465,376 is 4. Now, the other way you can do this is even faster still. Any combination of numbers in the original that adds up to 9 can be thrown away. So, for instance, 4 and 5 add up to 9, so you cross them off. 6 and 3 add up to 9, so you cross those off. And the remaining numbers here, 7 and 6 add up to 13. Add those until you get something that's less than 9. You get 4. So that's the way we're going to be doing it on a lot of these problems. Okay, so how does this tie in with checking your work? Well, what I have here is a correct sum. I added these earlier, and I think at least that I've gotten the answer right. So I'm going to show you how to confirm the answer by casting nines. By the way, the alternative that's most people employ is doing the problem twice. And you'll see quickly that that's not going to get to the answer, or not going to confirm it nearly as quickly as this. Okay, you ignore the carry marks, so don't even pay attention to them. 4 plus 8 plus 3. Let's see, 12 and 3 is 15. Add those and you get 6. All right, 5 and 6 adds up to 11, which when you add the 1 and the 1, you get 2. 7, 2, and 3 adds up to 12. And when you add those digits, you get 3. And when you add these digits here, you get 18. Adding them gives 9. But 9 throws away, so that take away 9 from 9, you get 0 there. And here you get a 5, which is already good enough. I'm just going to transfer it over. All right, when we add these up over here, you get 16, and that becomes 7. So let's see if we get 7 down here. What's 1 plus 5 plus 0 plus 1? 7. Checks. All right, let's do the same problem, but a little bit more efficient way of doing it. Okay, once again, we're going to ignore the carry marks. But this time, when it's an addition problem, anything that adds up to 9 just gets tossed on its keister. So 4 and 5, 3 and 6, 7 and 2, 9 gets thrown away, 1 and 8 adds up to 9, and what do we have left here? 3 and 4 and 1, so we should get a 7. Oh, wait a minute here. There's one other cast that I didn't see. Yeah, something was goofy there. 1 and 8, a throwaway. Okay, so what do we have left? A 4 and a 3 gives 7. And down here, if you add those digits, 5, 1, 5, 0, and 1, you also get 7, so it checks. Okay, now I'll show you how it catches mistakes. The first time around here, I've made a mistake in the problem, and then it's been fixed down below, and you can see one time I got this answer, and the other time I got a different answer, so both of those answers can't be correct. A good place to illustrate what happens with the normal way of checking, you do the problem twice. Now, if it doesn't agree, then you know something's wrong, but is it that one that's wrong, or is it the one below that's wrong? So even though you do it twice, and that's a lot of work, you still don't know which one's right and which one's wrong. So here we go. Let's cast 9s on the top one here. Let's see, 2 and 7 are gone because they add up to 9. 4 and 5 are gone. Down on the bottom line, I can cross off the 6 and the 3. And so when I bring this over here in the casted version, I have 3 plus, let's see, the 4 and 2 adds up to 6. So that gives 9, and 9 becomes 0. So everything should cast down on this bottom line. Well, the 9 casts, the 1 and the 8 casts, but when you take the 4 and the 4 together, you get 8. That doesn't agree with what we had over here. So I know something's wrong here with this problem. And that was quick. I don't know if you realized how fast that was. So here's the fixed version. And once again, you ignore the carries when you're casting 9. So 1, 7, and 2 cross off because they add up to 9. 6 and 3 cross off because they add up to 9. 5 and 4 cross off because they add up to 9. And we get 4 plus 3 plus 2, which adds up to 9. But remember, 9 throws away. So we should get everything cast. Well, let's see what happens down here. The 0 is gone. Just because 0, I'll leave it there. 1 and 8 cast because it's 9. 5 and 4 cast because it's 9, and you get a 0. So we have the right answer here. You got a 0 in both cases. Okay, so let me review a few casting 9s itself with you. When casting 9s, it's important to know that you don't stop until you get to a digit that's between 0 and 8. Now that happens right away on this first one. 3 plus 5 is 8. But here you get 5 and 3 and 7 add up to 15, and you have to keep going then. So the answer there when you cast 9s would be 6. I'm going to add this all the way across here and do it that way, and then I'll do it the way of crossing off things that add up to 9. Okay, let's see. 2 plus 3 plus 5 would be 10. 10 plus 1 plus 6 is 17. 17 and 4 is 21. You get 29. You can add those, which gives 11. Add those, which gives 2. Now you could have seen it earlier if you just crossed the 9 off. Okay, so on the bottom I'm going to do the same number and I'm going to cast 9s from it much more efficiently. Let's see, 6 and 3 adds up to 9, 5 and 4 adds up to 9, 1 and 8 adds up to 9, so you get 2. Same problem. Okay, one last thing. We're going to check this big massive problem here. And we're going to check it by casting 9. So we've done a lot of work here. It'd be nice to know that we have the right answer. So you start by just ignoring the carry marks. And with addition, you have the liberty of crossing off anywhere in the original problem. So I'm going to start with, let's see, I'm going to go 8 and 1 right there. 5 and 4. 7 and 2 adds up to 9. Let's see, 3 and 4 is 7, and 2 would be 9. 1, 1 and 7 would be 9. Let's see, 3, 3 and 3 would be 9. 5 and 4 would be 9. 2, 6 and 1 adds up to 9. 5 and 4 adds up to 9. And you can see the only thing left is the 3 and the 1, so we should get 4 down there. So I'm going to cross off the 8 and 1 right away, and 8 and 5 is 13, and you're going, oh no, but wait, add those together and you get 4. So that problem was done correctly. The answer that we had down there, I think it was 88,150, was a legitimate answer. Now, a word of advice here. If you obliterate, you can see I crossed off everything in sight here. Draw your lines really lightly, because if you need to fix it, it's kind of nice to see the original problem. And if you just take this thing and kind of make it look like this here, you're not going to be able to tell what the original problem looked like. So cross your answers off lightly. Okay, so that's the first installment on how to check with casting 9s. I'll have a separate video on how to check subtraction and then multiplication and division also.